What up, everybody? Welcome to the Brands in the Streets podcast. My name is Songs and I'm your host on the show. And today we're out in Parktown. We're going to be hanging out at Gabriel's Tea Room with the representatives of Butan Way. And today we're going to get to peek behind the curtain of creativity and establishment. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down there because content we have plenty. Shout out. Yo, here we are. We are within, and this water dripping gent sitting next to me goes by the name Ayanda Njanya, and he is the marketing manager of Butan Way.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, my brother. Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. I was up early in the morning.
Yes, sir.
I didn't shave, but I still feel like I can shave. Just for at least people to see that I'm putting in effort.
Thank you for
sure.
that, man.
Yeah.
Yesterday we were supposed to shoot with some other clothing brand, right? The whole team got together, and this gent who owns it just decided to drop us, man. We had to call him to find out we cannot come through anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
So you guys had set up and everything?
Everyone was there, man.
I can blame it on COVID. Let's blame it on COVID.
We won't even mention their names. We won't even mention their names.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
So,
glad to be here, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, speak to me.
Before we can talk about clothes, I have some personal questions for you.
Okay.
Because going through your IG, I have my attention on lock, man. You seem to have like a well-rounded life, man. You got your career, got your kid. I see you doing.
Is on there, right?
Yeah, she is there.
Ah, damn. Okay.
But I see you doing some charity work. You went to your old school.
Yes.
And I forgot the name, Slim Cares or something. A charity you guys did.
Yeah, with MK Fresh and Slim.
Yes. I want to know who Ayanda is as a person.
Okay.
And where from.
Sure, yeah, no problem. So for everyone out there who doesn't know who I am, my name is Ayanda Njanya.
Yes, sir.
I'm a 36-year-old Black South African who currently resides in Nepal.
Yes.
I'm a father to a 9-year-old beautiful young lady. Her name is Alonde. She stays out in Stanger with her grandparents, and she's out there just growing and growing. I was talking to her the other day, bro. The wildest thing, because I kept these shoes for her because I used to sell shoes back when I was in college, sample shoes, and there was this two pairs that I kept since 2008-9.
Yeah.
And I was like, my daughter, when she grows, I will keep and give these to her when she's the size.
Damn.
Literally like a month or two ago, I found out that she's a size 5, and those shoes are 4.5. It didn't fit her anymore.
Yeah.
But anyway, I sent her a pair of shoes. Shout out to Hayden, he gave me a pair of Pumas.
Yeah.
So I sent her down those shoes. She's growing up, doing grade 4, going to 5. So outside of just being a father, I'm also a person passionate about life.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm passionate about a lot of things.
I picked that up from your IG, though. The things you were doing, I'm like,
No, for sure. So, I went to school, started off in Pimville, Soweto, that's where I was born and bred.
Yeah.
And then I moved to the German school. I think that's where a lot of what I'm doing now was kind of like molded, or seeds were planted for me in order to kind of just like look at the world in a very different way. Because I was a township kid who got moved into this environment. It's like how you were to like hang out, they look shady every day, and then you suddenly come to a place like this. You're just like, wow, this roof, these plants, the projector, everything. So I was intrigued by all of that, but there was always this curiosity that I had for life. It's just that place for me managed to hone it because there were resources. So I moved from the German school that I went to the VAR, 2000, 2001 I think. I finished off the rest of my high school there, so I did grade 10, 11, 12 in the VAR at a school called Riverside High. I used to go to school with a guy named Matipa who became like a rap legend. I think he still is.
Do we know who he is?
Matipa.
I haven't heard of him.
Yeah. He was called like an underground MC, one of those guys who like he grabs the mic and a lot of people just like oohs and ahs. And then I posted that then I took on my first job. I was working at a crane manufacturing company out of Boksburg North.
Yeah.
Because I was in the German school, I went to like a German-funded internship program. And that's where I got my first bit of like proper money. So I went to, so what was crazy is that like, when you grow up, you're always influenced by a couple of things. And so I was like, I got money, I could earn money now. I bought my first pair of Timberlands and my first pair of Air Force Ones.
That's
my
cool.
first paychecks.
You know what I wanted to ask, the second part to the question I already asked was that like I wanted to know where you came like from, because when I was, I saw that you're like rubbing shoulders with people who I consider to be like the right people for the fashion scene of SA, and I was like, maybe someone who doesn't come from Joburg, it will be difficult for them, but for you it's like it's everyone, you're in everyone's circle, man.
Look, I mean, one thing I can always say for anyone who wants to do anything, don't sell yourself short by not thinking that you can get to where you need to go or where you want to be. So my thing was, firstly, being a kid out of from the township, you don't have a lot at your disposal. So you either are making things happen for yourself, creating physically, so you go DIY, or you just sit there and you hope that like a miracle will fall out of the sky, which like happens in a blue moon. There's few people that actually get that kind of luck. So what I did was I always made sure that I immersed myself in whatever it is that I wanted to do. So it's like I was reading magazines, I was watching television, but more than that, I studied. It doesn't mean that like you gotta study sometimes as in like go to an institution, but like if there's someone close to you that you can study, who is at least a step or two ahead of where you are, latch onto those people. So I was very, very blessed to have a cousin of mine come live with us when, I don't know if any of you guys know Jam Ali.
Of course.
My cousin was the producer of Jam Ali when Vinolia, Mashiho, Vimash, and Nimrod were presenters. So I'm talking when Jam Ali was making the chocolates, and it was like Libu Matosa was alive, Ski was like a thing. That were like the biggest artists. Palafala, which was so TKZ dropped this record called Palafala, which was like one of the biggest groundbreaking records at the time, because Kwaito was making it, but it wasn't as lyrically heavy or lyrically like formed as it was when TKZ came out. So TKZ, these three guys went to prestigious schools, like imagine like a Michael House or something.
I actually recently watched the podcast MG. And there was Capello Mabalani there, and he was saying the same thing, how they went to like good schools and all that.
Straight up. So it's wild, right? So they get into this music genre that like Amachi Daseroshini, people of Daseroshini have like built, right? But when they come in, they throw this other thing that people were constantly complaining about, but they will change it. Because a lot of people were like, but especially like the older people, they were like, okay, cool, Kwaito's nice, but you guys are repeating the same thing. TKZ comes in and they're doing the verse hook thing, and then it really changed the game. So this is all happening. My cousin then comes to live with us. This is me, my grandparents, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna stay with you guys for a little bit. And then I mean a little bit, I don't know how long that was, which turned out to be a year. So I'm going with this guy to the SABC to watch recordings of Jam Ali. At like 8 in the morning, we're driving, picking up Nimrod from his house. Nimrod used to live in Pinville. Pick up Nimrod, who's the presenter. They're homies. We go to the SABC, get to the SABC, here's the studio, set up like you guys are set up, but obviously bigger. And it's just like a bunch of people. I'm like in the background watching Vinolia walk into the studio. She's definitely the superstar of the whole thing, and it's like, you feel the space and how different it becomes when she walks into someone like that. And I was like, someone who's like that, and the people that come to the show as guests can command the respect that they have. This is something that I want to be part of. So I got a glimpse and first-hand encounter of what it is to put together something like that and be within the midst of those kind of people. So Oscar became the person for me, but then he left. So I had to somehow make means to live through that experience all over again with either creating it myself or finding people that I can create that spirit and spark for me.
I see.
Yeah, so I think just in closing to what you were saying, it's always best to find a community of people or people that are like-minded that you can work towards creating a thing with. Yeah.
That's the same thing with these people that I'm with right now,
Okay,
you know.
cool.
So
Dope.
yeah. Another thing, I saw that you said you went sober after like a 12-year battle with alcoholism, so that you could be a present father to your daughter.
Yes.
That made me curious what your relationship with your own father was like, because it sounded like you want to be different.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to this man, yo. You're hitting the mark. So check this out. I think the one thing that we don't often speak about, which is something I see that's rife in our community now, or our communities.
Yeah.
You know, there's the scourge, and I mean, everywhere you go, you just see young people, gifted young people, well-spoken young people who don't have direction and where to take their talents or place their talents.
Yeah.
For me, it was a multitude of things that led to me being an alcoholic. You know, a parents actually that weren't loving and understanding of the situations that I went through. Because the thing is this, I think people who frequently want something so bad for others or themselves don't understand the consequences of being there once you have gone from where you were. So I say this to people who want the limelight. Be very careful of what you want when you get there, because when you get there, it's a very harsh environment. No one cares for anybody.
Yeah.
In the quest of wanting fame and money, people will quickly push you out the way and don't care about who you are. Even when you're there, they don't care about who you are. They want what is around you. So
I'm not sure I know what that means, man.
what I mean is, if you are the person who attracts money and stardom and things towards you, people don't want you in particular.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you hear what I'm saying? They want what it is that you attract. They want the energy that you bring. They don't want you. Because when you're gone, what? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, be very careful when you want those kind of things, because you need people to fend people off. You need a strong mindset, because you also need consistency. It's like every day you gotta wake up and be this character or this thing that you've built yourself up to be. So I battled with alcoholism, man, for 12 years. It's something that I started off as just like, it was a fun time.
So wait, the battling, does that start at the beginning of this 12 years, or at some point you just decide that now this is a problem, and then that's when you counted the 12 years?
Look, I counted the 12 years when the biggest fallout, call it, happened. So in my matric year, I got elected as the chairperson of the SRC, call it.
Yeah.
It's wild, right? So I'm with all these smart people in my group of 12 graders. Everyone is just like very confident that they're gonna make it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I'm gonna beat you all, and I know how I'm gonna do it. Literally, the day that people are meant to vote, I went campaigning across the school, like telling people, "Yo, vote for me.
Yeah.
I'll do this and this for you." And I won through just campaigning, right?
Yeah.
So I win. Everyone is like crying. Like, there were people crying because I won. They didn't understand how they could not win.
Yeah.
So I campaign and I win. But the following week after winning, it's my birthday. There's this one dude who I go to school with not bring a bottle of vodka for me to drink. He's like, "Here you go, have 18 shots."
Oh.
Stupid me, I'm like, knock these things back, and I was so drunk throughout the day of school. And obviously, I'm not representing the learners like I'm supposed to, right? Because I'm a chairman.
Yeah.
I get taken off the chair, and it kind of becomes this like moment of glory that gets taken away from me. And that's another thing, again, as people that we always need to understand, is that whenever moments like that do occur, be careful of the kind of support that you have and latch onto. So if you have family that really does support you, go to them. If you have friends that really can support you, go to them. And if your friends are supporting you, how are they supporting you? Are they supporting you by talking to you? Are you guys sharing words? Are you sharing experiences by like good experiences. I didn't like post to that event. I didn't address the issue. I didn't address the things that I was going through. So what ended up becoming a moment of glory taken away became a cascading set of events that just led to me drinking more and more because I kept a lot of things to myself.
So it wasn't something you picked up at home or nothing?
Look, obviously there's a history with people in the family that were addicted to substance or otherwise, you know? And also because the environment I was in wasn't exactly allowing me to speak about a lot of things, alcohol became the escape. Yeah. So again, you know, when I say support, be very careful of who you have as support. And choosing your friends also is a very important thing because you want those to be people who support you through thick and thin. It's like how you choose a girlfriend, how you choose a boyfriend, how you choose whatever you live. Yeah.
So your relationship with fashion and you being a marketing, like what does a marketing manager do exactly? Like what's your job? And like I also want to know, like, is this something you went to school for? And like when you were in school doing marketing, I assume, or did you like you were doing marketing to do fashion, like to market fashion and brands like you're doing now, or did you do marketing and found yourself doing it for fashion? Yeah.
So I will honestly tell you that what I'm doing now is something I've forever wanted to do. I've only ever done one job that was out of my scope, and that was the first job I took. So for me, I am literally living out my dream. Being in music, being in fashion. And that was always the dream. So what I did was I first studied business management, and that was just to pass time and be in something. So that I have the skills. But I will say this: you can go into, as a person, you can study whatever it is that you want because the application of knowledge. It's the wildest thing ever. Marketing can take you into architecture, right?
It can take you in.
Exactly, because we are constantly learning. You can then adapt to be in architecture, right? And people that you see sit on boards, a lot of the companies, they just studied business management, and business management really teaches you a wide scope of things about running an operation. Listen to me, I'm not saying business, an operation, because you're managing people, you're managing resources, you can manage a house because of business management, right? And so so I found myself studying business management, and I was like, okay, cool, I've never done business economics, but I found it useful because you learn about resources, how you have a finite amount of resources in order to, so it's like, how does scarcity build to maximum output? Minimum input for maximum output kind of thing. So I was like, okay, cool, business management is great if I'm to become a business owner, which I am. But also, I am inclined to want to create means and collateral or assets for people to understand fashion is about, what product is about, what service is about, and that's what essentially marketing does. Marketing goes, oh cool, so we've got a glass. How do we let the people who want to buy glasses know that this vase-shaped glass is out there? That's my job. I then gather the resources, human or otherwise, to let people know that this is available at a certain price. It's distributed somewhere at a price like this. Who's handling it, and so on, and then create a story around it, because this is an inanimate object. At the end of the day, there has to be some sort of excitement for you to want to buy this thing, and that's also my job.
So you went to a school for it?
I went to school, but I never finished.
Wait, it doesn't matter.
Boston Media House.
Wait,
I was at Boston Media House for a year, and I was working at a skateboarding store called Boogaloo's in Cresta. And I started off there as a casual, quickly jumped up to be a store manager, and I was like, I stopped school, and then I started doing marketing for Nike. And this was Nike doing this. So I don't know if you'll notice, there's these footwear brands that do these like retro offerings. So Adidas has the Adidas Originals.
Yeah.
Nike didn't have an answer for it yet, so Nike was doing Nike Sportswear. So when they started that, I was approached to be part of the team, and I was like, it's all good, but yeah, I was like, I'm ready. At the end of 2009, no, 2008, yeah, 2008, and they were like, "Alright, cool, we got a position for you. Please go to Cape Town, open a store for us, and then you can do some on the ground energy marketing and kind of like develop and mold the name there, but also attach personalities to the brand. So it's like, who are the cool people in Cape Town that you can put alongside Nike?" And that was my job, along with running the store. So some knowledge you kind of get on the job, but it's also up to you how you open yourself up to learning, because I wasn't sitting there going, I'm just going to do things. To build insights and to report back to your company, there's a way to do it. You got to have the terms, you got to have this and that, because there's certain terminologies that work for the streets and others work for the corporate, so you got to like know what that is. So I had to learn certain things, textbook, some on the job, but a lot of it was just through my own understanding and just like observation. And picking up a book, I won't lie, picking up a book is very important. Like, as much as we can talk about, school this and that and that and that, and you don't want to go, sure, great, but to hit the mark and to truly be as effective as you want to be, you have to learn the language of the people who you want to speak to, the people who you will encounter. So it's like, if you want a 500 million budget,
you must know their language.
That's it, bro. That's it. Yeah, because you got to sit there and be like, this is the presentation. Like, you got to put together a presentation. How are you going to do that if you don't know the language of the people that you're going to be addressing?
Heard.
Yeah. So
I don't think it matters if you didn't finish, man. You're here now, working with all these brands, so.
But what I'm saying is, I need a 500 million budget.
You know what to do.
Exactly.
And then tell me about Julian Kubel.
Yeah. So
where do you guys meet? Like, where do your paths cross?
Yeah. Quite interesting, like I said.
Also tell them who Julian is.
Of course.
Yes, sir.
So 2009, I moved to Cape Town and I opened the Nike store at the V&A Waterfront. I'm the assistant store manager.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I really love about when you do follow your passion, your community will always find you.
How so?
I mean? So it's like, what I mean is, if you're a filmmaker, you're about to hang out with filmmakers. One way or the other, you're gonna find other filmmakers.
Yeah.
There's a certain way you speak, there's a certain thing that you do. There's just the energy that attracts filmmakers to filmmakers, fashion people to fashion people, architects to architects. Your profession will find you, your community will find you. So, 2009, Akio, who does Strictly Soul, actually like up the road, used to do the parties there. Akio, who used to be a DJ for Ill Skills, used to do these parties at his house. Not really parties, like hangout things. Tuesday night, you bring pizza ingredients. He'll do the bass and the cheese, and you bring whatever, and it's like literally the cool who's who of Cape Town used to come and hang out there. Rappers, graphic designers, DJs. I mean, everybody, bro. That's why I met Julian. Julian Kubel is the founder of Butan.
Butan.
Yes. So yeah, he finds out I work for Nike. We're talking. He shows me the clothes that he's doing. Like, yo, this is dope. I mean, we should definitely hang out, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2009, we're hanging out with. I mean, we weren't hanging out as much, but I mean, I kept on seeing him a lot of the times that I was there, and at the parties, because they used to do parties where they'd bring out a lot of the guys who were coming from the States, so like John Robinson, People Under the Stairs, even Blue and Exile. They were sponsoring a lot of the dope parties that were happening, and that's how I kept on like checking up with the brand and seeing what they were doing. And then fast forward 2017, he hits me up and is like, yo, let's see if we can do something. And that's when I joined the company on the 1st of August 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
Well, damn, because my questions date as far back as 2013.
Nah, hit me, bro.
Okay, well, it's been around since 2013, right?
No.
I mean,
it's been around since like 2002.
Nah, I saw this interview of Julian. He was like, he's like started his interest in like 2001. But the brand, I don't know. Maybe I missed something.
Commercially available.
Okay.
Round about 2010.
2010.
Yeah. World Cup times when Philip was here.
Who's Philip?
Sorry, it's kind of like remember the slogan for the South African World Cup was "Feel it, it's here." So people were talking about Philip is here.
Oh.
Yes.
I got my first piece by Butan in 2017.
Nice.
I still have it today.
My man.
Like it's still in good form. That is.
Yeah, no, I won't lie, man. We really do kind of go hard on the quality.
I know. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Well, humble beginnings and everyone's story, man.
Yes.
But I want to know like the first big break that you guys had as Butan.
Yes.
That was like made you guys believe that what now we're taking this to the top.
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple of those, and I must definitely give a shout out to the guys that have been with us for the longest time. So I'm talking Akio, I'm talking Grimanska, Proverb, who now has.
The Idols Proverb.
Yes, dude.
Okay.
That guy was a ferocious MC, and he still is.
I know. I'm well aware.
Yeah. Raiko, Gigi Lambane, Reason. There's been a number of them. There's been a number of people who have given us time to really grow to the brand that we are. Sugar Smacks, Slicker, Squatter Camp. Those are the people that really gave us an edge in the market. But in 2010, we got such a big break to being in Shesha. And Shesha had just launched with Nike and Converse at this premium store. And I think with being in there, it truly made us feel like we're onto something, because being next to Nike and Converse is no small thing.
That's really no small thing, man.
Right?
Yeah.
So once that happened, and we had this awesome of people that were with us, that were Butan fans, we were ready to be like, okay, cool, we got it now, we can go.
And then what about Sportsy?
Sportsy, that came about last year.
Yeah.
Early this year. In fact, it came about last year, but to the public it came out this year. That came as a really serious amount of work, team effort, blood, sweat, and tears, because it's not a small thing to be put in Sportsy
and
to be distributed in a number of stores. We were like, alright, cool guys, we'll do this. We were ready to be with you guys in these selective doors, because we had the opportunity to at least kind of say where exactly we wanted to be. So yeah, man, shout out to Sportsy for truly coming through for us in that regard. And it's been a beautiful relationship so far. And what I will always urge any business that's ready to play in the big league, I will not say big league because that is literally the big league. Have your shit right, man.
Understood.
Yeah. Have your cash flow right. Have your books right. Have your shit right, because it will challenge you in a lot of ways.
And then the Kaiser Chiefs collabo, that has to be the biggest one, right?
Yes.
Because usually it really is the first of its kind on the continent, for real.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, when I joined Butan in August 2017, that was one of the first things I was told, that there's this thing that we're working on, it's like Kaiser Chiefs. I was like,
so how does that happen? Do you guys approach Kaiser Chiefs or the other way around?
It was a mutual.
But
meeting.
how? Who is the guy from Kaiser Chiefs that says, hey, Butan is
the
dope?
lady. Shout out to the ladies over at Kaiser Chiefs, Jessica Madawu, Kemiso Madawu. Kemiso, she kind of started the conversation over there because she's a fan of the brand.
Yeah.
Such a huge supporter of the brand. Shout out to her. And yeah, from there it was kind of like, okay, cool. How do we set this up? How does it look? Who's gonna take what on? And yeah, how do the communications work? Because the meeting of two parties in that regard requires a serious due diligence, because it's like, who pays for what, who invoices who for what, who's marketing what. You get what I'm saying? who are the suppliers for things like, because we both have suppliers for a variety of goods and services.
Yeah.
It's like whose supplies get used. But yeah, man, when the deal was struck and we inked it, man, it was such a beautiful thing to see unfold.
Yeah, it really was dope, man.
Yeah, we launched it at the sports scene. Gosh, I forget this event because it was at One Fox. We launched it there. The players came through. It was such a great spectacle. To walk with the players from the parking lot right up to our setup in the stand or the store was such a huge thing, man. I remember just getting goosebumps. I know some of the guys personally, like Demilin Kuna. I knew him since I was working at Nike. So when he saw me, he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, my nigga, don't worry, let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's the wildest thing ever, and it's again one of those huge learning curves where you're in the big league, and big league rules when you're coming from the mud, or you're coming from where we come from. It's like it's way different because the decorum in addressing who you're working with, and just having to move the way your partner moves is very because you can fall very short into the wayside because you're not keeping up. So when people say they want to play in the spotlight or they want to play in the big league, you have to be very careful of what you're asking for, because in terms of what you have internally, it has to be so strong that it can withstand a lot of what can knock that same company you're getting in bed with. If you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Just like if you and your friends are all going to a restaurant, the assumption is that everyone that's there has the same amount of money to spend on the food, right?
I don't really agree with that example, but I know what you're saying.
But let's just say, for lack of a better example, right? Just so that we can all have a good time.
Yeah.
We'll go to like a Paul in Melrose. We get there and we're ordering, I don't know, God knows what, salmon and fucking whatever. And we're having a great time.
Yeah.
If someone came there just to hang on people's coattails, do you understand that like it's a bad look not only just for the person who's doing the wrong, but also for the people who came with that person, because now we're sitting there huddling, figuring out the situation, taking time and solving this thing, So the picture I'm painting is, whenever you want to say you want to play for the big league, just be ready. Be ready with everything. Yeah. Be ready to wine and dine people for 15,000, whatever the case is. Be ready to pull up in a Maybach. Be ready to look and be the part every single day, because once you step in, going back is kind of not an option.
Yeah. Well, and then who in New York heard about Butan? Because New York. New York City.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you talking about past?
I'm not sure when it was from exactly, but you guys had a virtual event and then another, I think, a real life thing. I saw Julian talking about it on some interview that I watched.
No, so in New York, how we got there was through a friend of the brand, Top Shotter. I forget his name, but what a dope dude, man. He's super plugged out there in New York, he took a couple of garments of ours and we're shooting with a couple of these people out there. So yeah, man, we're always doing our best to actually create a concrete foundation out there, just so we can, when we do take the step to go out there and do some work, it's not like people
strangers.
Yeah, because it's look, man, if anything, New York is a very grueling environment. No one cares about anything there. Everyone is really hyper focused. So what is this? So we really need to do the work once again to just energize people and let them know that the brand is out there. But shout out to our people out in New York that have been supporting us. We're about to send like a bunch of clothes to some people out there just to like really start that journey again.
Well, Butan to the world, man. I'm behind the movement.
Of course.
And then Masters of the Continent.
Yes.
Panthers.
Yes.
Butan Spaza.
Yes.
What's with these names? What's the science behind it?
Okay, so Masters of the Continent is is the, I don't know if any of you guys know He-Man.
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 Okay, so He-Man is a
He-Man.
cartoon character.
Oh yeah, okay.
She-Ra.
He-Man, Woman Haters Club. Something. It's from that the movie. That Alpha movie, the Little Rascals. There was some club there, so it's not nothing offensive to the women.
Cool.
Please.
Shout out.
Yes, it's just it's all love.
So that was
that's the only He-Man I know.
that was a play on the He-Man cartoon.
Yeah.
You see, there's the villain and then there's the hero.
Yeah.
But obviously adapted to an African story and South African narrative, and that's what the brand Butan always sets out to do. Is we're an authentically African streetwear brand that always sets out to tell the African story through fashion. So these are the garments. That's the story.
This is the Spaz, right?
That's the Spaza. This is the new and evolved Spaza narrative. So yeah, the Masters of the Continent was taken from the He-Man story. The Panther, which is Hidden Panthers, is based on the 1960 civil rights movement from America called the Black Panthers. And the reason why we say Hidden Panthers is because not everyone can be outward and be a revolutionary in full sight of people. So we do praise those who do it from within. And are supporters of those who are revolutionaries. So the Hidden Panthers is directly taken from the civil rights movements, Black Panthers, and celebrates all revolutionaries.
I understand Butan is also a play on the letters of the word Bantu.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's just it's the rearrangements of the word Bantu. And because the word Bantu in South Africa has such a bad connotation and a bad meaning to it. Firstly, the rearranging of it is to shift the mindset of the people, of our people, about the word, right? And then reinterpreting it, like how we reinterpret stories with our garments. So yeah, that's where Butan comes from. It's the rearranging of the letters in the word Bantu.
My favorite edition of everything that has to do with Butan is Searching for the Mother and Child, man. That was so beautiful for me to watch. The shirts and the short film as well. Featuring like a lot of my favorites as well. Dude, those JR on the Jabba as well. I really liked the whole thing. I watched it with one of my crew guys yesterday.
Thank you so much, bro. You did your research.
I was not playing with this shit.
No. Thank you so much, man. Like it's so enjoyable to speak to someone who actually delves into the brand so much, because it makes speaking about it so much easier. So the Searching for Mother and Child, and I'm sure a lot of people will maybe understand or come to notice, is that it's taken from this very famous image that you found at your house.
I actually have never seen it in real life.
You're playing, bro.
I swear, bro. I only saw the porcelain dogs Jabba talked about. That's the only thing I know. And then Rehanya.
You know what's crazy? The thing that's crazy, right, about a lot of things in just like black families or black black households is that like you find there's a room divider. Room divider has the porcelain dogs and it has furniture, not furniture, but it will have like the brinky that you can never touch, right? Fine, sure, there's that. And then there's like an artwork of people that you think is your family. I thought those people were my family at some point. I never asked the question, but I was like, that mother and that daughter, who are they?
Do you know who they are? Because I still don't. I tried to find out. I still don't know.
You still haven't found out?
No.
I don't know either. No one knows, right? Some people are like, no, some people from Jamaica, maybe it was a fool. Bro, no one knows to this day. And that's the thing that we're also trying to find out, is that like, who are these people? It literally has become a search for mother and child.
Oh, shit. Yo, that's dope, man.
So that's what we're kind of embarked on as like an ongoing project. We are going to drop the t-shirt again in 2022.
I need one.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, for sure. We're going to hit you up with one.
Thank you.
So that's kind of the thing that we're doing now, right? Is making sure that we're rehashing the story, kind of not leaving people with a question mark, because yes, we got these really cool people to kind of share their experiences about this picture that they used to see in their homes. That was shot in Alex. Shout out to B.I.T.S who shot all of that.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of crazy stories like happened before that stuff was that content was shot. Like they went into Alex and all the equipment was stolen like the first day. Yeah. So shout out to Alex, please don't do that. Terrified. But we eventually shot that. It did tremendously well, and we're looking to rehash the story again.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So from a 2,000 rand budget to make 20 shirts to having tens of shops all around the country and worn by all the celebrities we can think of, man, in this country. And you guys like have almost done it all. Your collaborations as well.
Man, you know what? It's been a hard road, but it's been a fulfilling road. I think where we've set our sights now is the rest of the continent.
Yeah.
Because we pride ourselves again by being this African brand that sets out to tell the African story. The next frontier will be to be in Kenya, Ghana, Lagos, Nigeria, Tanzania, all these places where the rest of our brothers and sisters are.
Yeah.
For them to wear these garments and to truly understand what South Africa is about, but to have a widespread agenda about pride, really, that's the most important thing. And then from then, we then go to the rest of the world, London, the UK, America, New York, Japan, Germany, man, everywhere. Yeah, where our people are, is where we want to go.
So with that said, what advice would you give to like the youngins who are trying to navigate the rough terrains of SA fashion, man?
Oh, man, I will definitely say that it's not enough keeping it local. Your mindset needs to be global. Your operation can be based local, but we need as much of the first world thinking, infrastructure, systems, resources as much as possible. Simple case in point, when our freedom fighters were taking down the oppression system, which is apartheid, they didn't rely solely just on South Africa and the resources we had here at the time. What instead happened was that they went out into the world, spoke about what was happening here. They were then given the resources, budgets, and everything else, and support from there, then come back here while you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it becomes a system of exchange, it becomes a knowledge exchange, but it also empowers what we have here. Because I see a lot of people, and even rappers here, who are just like, firstly, the fuck are you doing rapping the way that you're rapping when you don't, like, take how you're rapping, go to America and feel how silly that you like. You know what I mean? You won't even be a drop in the ocean. You'll be the air. I don't know, man. It's just, it baffles me, right? But anyway, the point is, what I'm trying to say is, we cannot advance ourselves by thinking that if staying within these borders is the thing to do. Right? If the world around you is moving at a much faster and rapid pace at which you're still deriving your power and source from, why don't you go there? Right? Look at it. Look at who's this guy? James Baldwin. This other musician, I forget who he is. I think even Dev Hines, Blood Orange. These are people who ASAP Nast. You know? ASAP Nast who comes up the ASAP mob no longer lives in Holland. He moved to go live in Europe. Do you get what I'm saying? That at some point, if you are so driven by what you want, go get it from where you took it from. Exactly.
But actually, that would be what I was gonna say is a conversation for off camera.
Okay.
You know, so man, thank you for talking to us, man.
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it so much. Yeah.
We're done with the questions, you know.
I mean, all I want to say is that shout out to you for this very beautiful show and podcast.
Yeah.
Continue what you're doing. This is very necessary. I hope what
Very
you're doing
necessary, man.
generates another 5 podcasts that your friends and your people will look at and go, this is something that I want to do.
Yeah.
Because we need the platforms that will invite us and tell the story, so that more young people are enthused and excited about the things that we do. It's not enough that people go study physics and there's not enough. Like, our country isn't supported, and hence the people who go and study 5 things don't get jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a very DIY driven situation where people can find employment. I see young people latch onto music, fashion a lot more than they are anything else.
Yeah.
We're not being given the voice. So with platforms like yours, I can imagine, and I see 4 people as your crew. 1 podcast that isn't as big as Mac G's, right?
Yeah.
So you've already employed people who could potentially have been doing nothing, right? So our country needs to understand that. Our president, our politicians, and everyone needs to understand that
Yeah.
what we're doing is very important, because it empowers our people. It empowers people by free thinking as well, because what we do challenges the status quo.
Exactly.
So, and what Butan is doing as well is very important. I mean, I don't take it away from what Triple S is doing, or what Soul is doing, or what True Wop used to do, or whoever else is out there doing, but we are doing a much more important fucking job, which is Africa in fashion, and in the way that we're doing it through streetwear. We're literally the only ones, right? So let's give other brands a chance. Let's give other people a chance to really, really speak about who they are and what they are. But yeah, otherwise, more than that, it's Butan Official on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's Butan Official. In fact, it's Butan Official on all social media platforms and on YouTube. We have an online store, butan.co.za/shop. And we have a WhatsApp inner circle line where you can contact us directly for anything that you need that involves the brand. 066-487-7381. That is 066-487-7381. I'm Ayanda Njanya, marketing manager for Butan.
Yeah.
Out.
Thank you, man. I believe you have some pieces to show us, though.
Oh, yes. Of course.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, I was like, yeah. So ready to do that.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, so, yeah, what you've got here is, I mean, this puzzle story, we kind of started, I think, in 2015.
Yeah.
We launched it through a photo shoot that was done with Questa and Superbalist. In fact, not Superbalist, Spree.
Spree.
Yes, there was once a Spree before there was Superbalist. So this is like the evolved story of the Butan Spaza. And really what this gives a nod to is the sign writing to all the hustlers, the people who kind of do the informal trade.
Yeah.
And then you kind of see like the grocery items. Yeah, like it's like a fish.
Yeah, like a star.
Like a star, right? Yeah, but this is a shark. I think at the bottom he has written "Eat or be eaten."
Yeah.
There you see the hidden panther story come through there in the peanut butter. What is it? Black cat. So we've taken the cat and turned it into the panther, right? And then we've got Fresh here, which is a toothpaste, aka Colgate. Sometimes you might say toothpaste and people are like, "What is that?" Yeah. Poo Fu, Miss Meal there, you know. There's the Fresh there, you know. So it's really. You know, the stories sometimes aren't so sad and serious.
Yeah.
It's stuff that you come across on a day-to-day basis. Because if you go to a salon, you know, you're gonna see this kind of sign writing. If you go to Panita, if you go to Ispaza, that's the kind of artwork you'll see. So it's again, the brand is always about letting people know that we see them, celebrating them, you know, because this is a pride piece. It's an identity piece.
It does have
identity. You take this and you
man.
wear it in New York, or you wear this in Milan, you wear this in Australia. It's a very distinct piece that no one else is doing. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
If you ever get yourself a Butan piece, know that what you're communicating, even though without like outwardly saying anything, is African pride, South African pride. Yeah,
Understood.
for sure.
So this is the only one you're showing us?
Nah, there's one behind you.
Oh,
Just check that one out.
cool,
Yeah, you can bring that
There's
one
actually
over.
two.
There's actually two. So what's so cool about the Butan Panther story is that, you know, quality,
Yeah.
swing tags. Please, guys, always invest in these things. You know, they'll set your brand apart, because even here it tells you what the brand is about. You know?
Yeah.
Butan is deeply entrenched in the urban lifestyle and vibrant underground culture of South African street. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So whenever you pick up a garment, please read this. Then yeah. So like I was saying, you know, the Butan Panther story has kind of evolved to become. In fact, the panther is our mascot of the brand,
Yeah.
or rather the spirit animal, and we've evolved the panther to become a mascot.
Yeah.
So I mean, you see the jacket is a Letterman jacket, varsity jacket, thick ribbing here, and on the wrists, and then you kind of then see the mascot here. This really cheeky guy who's got a baseball bat, running around causing mayhem, you know? Yeah. And then on the back, you know, it's just really playing into the sports element of it. You know, this is a very considered garment, quality. This is embroidery with the front applique graphic, you know, just to really show and finesse that we can take it there. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to talk about quality and not really sure how far you can stretch it. This again is another Hidden Panthers piece. Excuse me. This was meant to be a two-piece, but unfortunately it just came as a track top. Right? So again, you know, the panther head, one of our most famous graphics. We've actually even done it with glow-in-the-dark details. So the fans will be glow-in-the-dark, and the eyes will be glow-in-the-dark. All this, or you know, the words will be glow-in-the-dark. But from here, it's just like the panther head playing in with the Swazi. I don't know if you've ever seen the Swazi kanga.
I don't know what a kanga is.
The cloth that is on my way.
Okay.
Yes. Just look at the detail. It sometimes has this.
I know I've seen something like this.
Yeah. It's kind of been a piece of controversy. You know, I remember Shesha and sports scene kind of got hung out to dry because of that. You guys are ferocious, eh? But yeah, you know, this is one of those new items. This will be available this summer.
It's not out yet?
It is.
Oh.
Yeah, it is, you know. So this will be available in stores 1981 from the Aluta range. So this is kind of like the block letters, block numbers. Yeah, so this is kind of just like a glimpse of the current items that are out in store, and what we've been doing.
Cool, man. All this stuff is mad dope.
Thank you very much, bro.
Thank you for coming through, bro.
It
means a lot.
Take care. Yeah, you guys, make sure that you keep on doing what you're doing. Very, very proud.
Alright, and that is it for our episode today. This is Ayan Danjaya. You guys can follow him. We'll put it up all on it. And then, yeah, man, we're out. No vacation, I'm at hustle location. Going home turned to a special occasion. No vacation, I'm at hustle location.